Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today we are continuing with our solo night challenge. If this is your first time with the series so far, we are basically taking our solo night from our Let's Play and we're finding all the rare encounters and beating them with just one unit. Now we put some other restrictions in place, like we're only going to be using gear and equipment that comes from either the main story, so something like Excalibur, or equipment that comes from the outfitters in the city. So we're leaving out poaching equipment and then equipment that comes from Midlight Steep. Now, another question I've been seeing sometimes is, how do you get these rare encounters to spawn? Well, you need to be in Chapter 4, and then you also need to come at the random encounter node from the way that I'm showing you. So, for example, in this video here, you had to come from Dorder to Aragway Woods, and that's how you're going to get the ninjas to spawn. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and let's get started with the challenge, because I think this one is going to be pretty tough compared to last video. Alright, we got him like on the first try. How many ninjas are we going up against? Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ninjas. Now, taking a quick look at these ninjas, you can kind of see their equipment there. This one has re-equipped. Not that big of a deal, but ninjas are one of, if not the best job in the game, because even without a build, they come intrinsically with dual wield, which means they can output a lot of damage. And also their throw ability is insanely good, especially when they get into like level 80 and above. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the encounter goes on. But also, ninjas are insanely fast. Look at that speed there. That's at 13. Their strength, whereas their physical attack, is at 12. So those two combined kind of makes ninjas almost like a glass cannon, because they don't have much HP, but they have enough. But their speed and their damage they can output, very dangerous, and then their throw ability becomes also very dangerous later on. So these guys are going to be tough. I'm pretty sure they're all going to have cloaks on them. This one actually has a guardian bracelet. Flails there, actually not too worried about that one actually, because their damage kind of hits in a range, and it usually tends to fall below what they're going for. But evasive stance, not worried about that. Let's just see if we can find anything that's gonna make us sweat a little bit. Equipped crossbows, doesn't even have a crossbow. Sticky fingers, we can talk a little bit about that again when the encounter starts. And just looking at, oh, this one's got aim plus reflexes. Okay, we need to account for that because reflex can make them very hard to hit. Let's see what else. Counter, okay, this guy's also going to be pretty dangerous. And then okay, martial arts. Got it. That's what we're up against. And here's our poor soul here. Here's Damon. How are we going to build them? Well, let's start with our abilities. For our secondary, actually, you know what? Let's start with our equipment. I think we're going to bust out Save the Queen. Let's get just our best shield. Technically, that would be the Genji shield, because you can steal this. But on the Genji helm, Genji armor, you know it's going to be a tough encounter, because in the other ones, I would just say, like, I'll just take the Crystal Mail or the Mirror Mail. No, we're going for the absolute best this time. You'll notice there's only a 20 health difference between the Mirror Mail and Genji armor, so not a huge difference there, but we're going to need every little bit of damage that or health that we can get. Now for our accessory, I think we want to take the bracers. We want to be able to do our own damage. You can see, again, their speed is at 13. Poor Damon here is at 8. We need to account for that. We could take Excalibur. Ooh, is Excalibur the play? Well, now, there's two ways we could build this. We could go with Excalibur, or we could go with Save the Queen. I kind of want to go with Save the Queen. Be a lot safer, because ninjas there, they're going to be doing a lot of physical damage. So Save the Queen comes with Protect, up all the time. That's going to help out with physical attacks. For our secondary, I want haste. We're going to take time magic, actually, just for haste. And this is a beautiful thing about knights, or I guess any job in general, is just taking these spellcaster jobs, so time mage or white mage, and using them for their buffs. So in the case of time mage here, it's haste. White mage is obviously shell and protect, or even regen. Regen might be nice here too. We'll go time mage. That way we have protect, and now we have a way to haste ourselves. Yeah, that seems pretty good, because I think in this case survivability, we need to account for that. Now ability wise, reaction ability, reflex would be perfect here, especially with a cloak and a shield. They wouldn't be able to hit us because this will double our evasion. But one of our little rules we put in is we can't use anything from the jobs that we're fighting. The reflex comes from ninja. Sticky fingers. If we were fighting these ninjas at, I would say level 80 and above, we would take sticky fingers hands down. And that's because at that level, ninjas throw really high tier weapons, something like chaos blades, high level katanas, and those will do a crap ton of damage. And we would basically, those would one shot us. So we would need a way to mitigate that. Sticky fingers is the way, but we're only level 50, so we don't need to worry about that. Instead, I'm more worried about their dual wield coming up and, you know, hitting us in melee. So I think we actually take first strike. This is the first time we've taken first strike, and so when they get into melee range of us and they go to hit us, we will hit them instead, and that'll cancel out their turn. First strike is amazing against physical humans because it only works on human units. So if you try to take first strike versus monsters, not going to work. We'll take first strike for our support ability. Attack boost might be nice, but ninjas, they're really good at evading, and some of them had reflex. I know I take concentration a lot, but guys, doing guaranteed damage is better than missing. I would love to take dual wield, but again, that comes from ninja. We'll take concentration. Movement ability. Getting surrounded, I'm not too worried about that, so I don't think we need to take teleport. We might as well take life font. Yeah, let's take life font. I think life font or teleport is okay. We don't have any way to heal ourselves. That's tricky too. We'll take life font. That'll keep us alive. Haste will keep us going as far as up to their speed. Yeah, let's try this out and see if this works. There's a lot of ways I feel like we could build this out, and we're just gonna try this way first.
To battle.
This one's dangerous. Again, because ninjas intrinsically are just very powerful, as opposed to, I thought the samurais were going to be a threat, but they weren't too leveled into their jobs to really be as big as a threat as I thought they were going to be. So ninjas here, they're throwing. The shurikens, he has a 51% chance. I have a good shield. So that's going to help mitigate a little bit of the damage. We also don't want to get surrounded. That would be bad. Good shield use there. 7 ninjas. Oh. Okay, so we have permanent protect on. Let's go ahead. We're going to spend our first turn and we're going to cast haste on ourselves. The only thing we need to be careful about is one of them getting in range and hitting us because we're in our casting position here. I'm not too worried about giving them haste. I don't think that's that big of a deal. So we did just put ourselves in a corner. I don't think that's going to be too bad for us. God, I'd really like to use haste here. Oof. That katana does a lot of damage. Okay. I think we'll be okay here. Just taking that amount of damage though. Okay, so bam. You just see first strike there. He tried to come up and hit me. No, we hit him first. So actually being in this corner, not the worst thing. Boom. Guaranteed hit every time. And now we can actually just put one down for good. So one down. Get a little bit of health back. We need to stay pretty on top of... Okay, the shield in blocking their shurikens or whatever they're throwing at us, that's going to be pretty crucial because they can just whittle us down if they just keep throwing. That guy actually used shockwave because he had martial arts. Oh, we just took a big hit there. Okay, and we got that. Okay, now we take out another one. Getting a little dicey here. We need to keep moving. That's the other thing. Keep our health up. We get hit too many times. Like if any of these go through, we're done. This is actually not the safest way to do this.
I think not.
First strike is doing exactly what we need it to do. But the way I've been trying to make these builds, especially for these rare encounters, is I want to consistently be able to win. I don't think this is going to consistently win, the setup that we have. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good right now, but... Oh, they have item too? Okay. Okay, game. But if they get too many throws off that I don't counter, or that I don't block... Actually, this is working out beautifully. Oh, hell yeah. This isn't the way I would do this fight, actually, guys. But it's working out for us right now. Because if they get so many throws off on us that go through... Look, they have a pretty decent chance. And it would only take, like, a couple lucky hits. Alright, we need to take out that guy. Gonna keep rezzing them. Everybody else is one shot. A little bit of health back. Put this other ninja in the ground. Take him out. Alright, you know what? You know what? We're not gonna complain. We're getting it done right now. How many Phoenix Downs does the enemy team have? This is bringing back memories of fighting all those calculators. But this is the only one the only ninja we actually need to worry about. Everybody else we kind of just dealt with. Those 2 blocks were huge right there. Okay, fully healed. We're still not out of the woods yet. If we finish this one off fast, I kind of want to do a redo and account for basically what they're throwing at us. Because I think we could do better. They came out. And now we just need to make sure this ninja doesn't run away from us. I thought this was going to be... I thought we were going to actually get destroyed right at the beginning of this one. But the AI actually played into our favor with all trying to get us in melee range. Because I thought this was going to be a lot scrappier. It was going to be kind of cool because you imagine this lone knight in the woods here fighting off all these ninjas and they're throwing shit at them. They're coming like all around them with all their blades and it's just like shield blocks and parrying with your sword all the time. That was like a cool imagery, but we're kind of taking care of business here. Now they don't have a way to res, but again, if they would just chain a couple of these throws off, like look at how much this would do. Ooh, they get just a few lucky hits. Fly. And we are in big trouble. I'm gonna take her out because that katana, that was a lot of damage. Now if they're smart, they would stay away from me. They could still win this. It's just look at their speed. Nope, I think that's it. Whew. All right, wow. That was like record time. We're gonna rewind, and I'm gonna show a more consistent build than that. That's not gonna be consistent because if they throw and again they get lucky enough at us or lucky throws at off, and those work out for them, we'd be dead very quick. So let's rewind that, and luckily all we need to do, we don't need to fish for the encounter again. We can just go into load, and then just go back into the woods. And yep, right in the middle of the fight, and we just go retry from formation. This is the first time we're kind of like redoing one that we just like absolutely destroyed. That's okay. So we're still gonna go with some of the choices we made there.
I am ready.
We're gonna we'll take Save the Queen. We'll also take a good shield. We'll take the Genji shield. We'll take the Genji armor still. That's not what I want to change up. I think Bracers is still a really good pick here. And I also want to go Time Mage. But when it comes to our reaction ability, I think I want to take Auto Potion. And then I want to take... God, Concentration's really good, guys. We'll take Concentration. And then let's take Teleport. Because now we have a way to heal ourselves. We can chase them down. We're going to be able to do more damage with Bracers. And then our shield is up too. But Protect should mitigate their damage that they're either swinging at us or the weapons that they're throwing at us. Should be enough for Auto Potion to out-heal it. And I think this setup here will be more consistent. We're not going to do the whole fight. But I just want to see how this one's going to flow. As far as what they're doing. So the first throw, still are blocking it really well. That's a plus. Man, we are absolutely putting in work with our shields here. I love to see that. Now we could start off with doing the same thing as before, haste. But I just want to get in there, right up in front of your face, hit them, and then I want them to get in range. See, nothing they're throwing at us right now. Gonna do enough damage, but what about their melee attacks? even with a crit, we basically out-healed it. Okay. I feel much better about this setup than I did with you know, what we just did there. Okay, out-healing everything. Okay. We want to be more safe during this fight. This auto potion setup is, again, the more consistent build for the knight. Or I would say with most jobs. Something like a monk, samurai, even like a ninja itself. If you can get protect on yourself. But mostly, again, we're just building up for the knight here. And this, look at, they're not... Now that guy broke that auto potion threshold. That was because he's using a flail. But flails, for the most part, don't hit very hard. Even though they're getting off a lot of turns on us. And again, we didn't haste ourselves at the beginning, so we would have gotten another turn by now. We kind of went with an aggressive first build. And this is much safer, which is what we've kind of been playing into with this series. So this is a much safer setup than what we just ran. But yeah, okay, let's just go back into the world map there. That one was much easier than I thought it was going to be. It's kind of been a running theme here. Now, some of you might be sitting there thinking, why didn't you just run Shin Hadouai from Samurai as your reaction? Now, Shin Hadouai here is really good at just completely blocking physical attacks. But, always a but, the second swing from a ninja, Shin Hadouai does not block. So it'll mitigate the first one, like it normally should. And then that second swing they do, that will be totally reliant on your equipment as far as evasion stuff. So they would be much more consistently just breaking us down every time they get in melee range. And I don't think that's the better setup. I think it's better that we just, again, take the damage that they can do to us, mitigate that, and then with protect, and then auto potion gets us through the day. Also, critical recovery. This might have worked too, because again, the damage they were doing, I think definitely would have put us in a critical state, and we would have just fully healed the entire time. That actually would have been pretty good. Regenerator plus life font, that would have been another way to out heal their damage to us. Again, all with Save the Queen because of that permanent protection. Now on the flip side, instead of taking time magic, we could have taken white magic instead, given ourselves Excalibur, and then just cast haste on us. There's a lot of ways we could have beat that fight. I think that first build we did there with First Strike, I think that was the riskiest. I think that was an aggressive build that just worked out in our favor, thankfully. But yeah, whew, a little bit of a shorter one than I thought, guys. Sorry for the yapping at the end. I thought that was gonna be a lot tougher. That's kind of the running theme here. It's just Knight is that good. It's just that good. But that is the video, you guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Peace. Take care.